I made $1,300 in a single day last week and I still felt behind. And that's not a flex, that's the problem. Because no matter how much money I make in a single day, I always will still feel like I'm behind. I can always be doing more, making more money, doing more videos, just putting out more stuff. Stick around for 5 minutes and I'll show you the actual way out of this destructive mindset. And no, not just more motivation or more work, the actual mindset shift that will pull you out of this dynamic where your work just is not enjoyable anymore. And you can actually shift your life, change how you work and how you operate. And if you can't stick around for 5 minutes, that might show you something about how you operate. So here's how I got here. I was 16 years old. I was a sophomore in high school. I started a basketball Instagram page and I grew it to about 95,000 followers. And then I sold shout outs and promotions where I would put rappers' music inside the edits and they would pay me about 40 bucks a piece. Over the time of me running that business, I probably made about 5 or 6 grand off of it, all profit. Fast forward to my sophomore year of college, I started a video editing agency and I probably made around $30,000 to $40,000 in pure profit off of it. Next, I started my personal brand and started posting about the software company I was working on publicly. And this is where it got uncomfortable. Because everyone I went to high school with, everyone I went to college with, they could all see the videos. And I just knew in the deep part of my mind, it's like, they're thinking that, who is this guy? Who does he think he is to be able to make a business? Like he wasn't even that smart in school. And like, I'm gonna be honest, that was a real thing that I had to push through. But this summer is where it actually got dark. I was chasing this number within the software company. I was just working so hard to try to get to $10,000 a month before I graduate college. Because if I didn't, what else was I going to do? What else was I going to do? And it was just eating me alive, the idea that I wasn't there yet and I didn't know how to get there. And I was just obsessing over what I was getting out, the revenue, the growth, the views that I was getting on the videos I was posting about the product. And that stress and that experience and that anxiety, it cost me a 2-year relationship in my life with someone who was super special to me. And I was coping in ways that were just not healthy whatsoever. I would wake up and just not want to work. I would not want to do it, but I would force myself to do it. And I would just repeat that cycle over and over and over again. I would work all day, get wound up about results that weren't there yet, and then numb myself and feel groggy and shitty the next day because of it. I wasn't enjoying any of it anymore. My friends, my family, they kept telling me, enjoy your life, enjoy your life. You're only 21 years old. You don't need to be making all this money right now. Just enjoy your life. Like go outside, go hang out. And I understand why they said that. They just wanted the best for me. But that's not why I was doing it. I never had a problem where I felt like I was running out of time. I had a problem where I felt like I had to do this. I had to make it work. This was my personal mission to myself and I had to do it. And I actually read the book, The Alchemist around then, and that made the feeling even stronger because I felt like if I didn't do this, if I didn't make this business work, if I didn't at least give it a shot, give it everything I had and be able to build it from a healthy place rather than a destructive place, I might regret it for the rest of my life. So I couldn't quit, but I also couldn't keep going the way that I was going. I needed to be able to do it in a healthier, more sustainable way that I could actually enjoy. So here's what changed. The first thing I changed was I was able to turn it off. No more checking Slack at dinner, no more checking all the monitors from my software throughout the whole day, no more checking to see if my Instagram trial reels were getting over 1,000 views on every single video. Because stress doesn't just make you miserable, it makes you worse at the thing that you're stressed about. Being able to turn it off is not a reward for doing the work, it's maintenance to be able to continue to do the work at a high level. The second thing I did was I stopped needing it to make money for me to think it was worth doing. I enjoy building businesses, I enjoy building products, and I've really started to enjoy building software over the last 12 months. And I genuinely just love this shit, bro. And I didn't need it to make money because I make money from my other business and I can pay my bills from that business. I don't know why I was stressing about it so much, but if I just built it, if I shifted the mindset from this has to make this amount of money by then to just, I enjoy this product and I think it can help people and I'm just gonna work at it. And if people start to use it, if my marketing works, that's great. But if it doesn't, I love it enough that I'm gonna do it anyways. The third thing I did, and this is the thing that like actually genuinely rewired my life. I stopped focusing on outputs and I started focusing all my energy on inputs, what I was putting in. How many videos was I posting a day? How many customers was I talking to that day? How many conversations was I having? How many things in the product was I focusing on? How much code was I shipping that actually helped the product? I stopped focusing on views, followers, the monthly reoccurring revenue, the growth within the product, how well the SEO is doing, how many articles was I writing and actually getting views, like were they even working at all? I just focused on writing the articles, writing SEO articles as good as I could, posting daily reels that were as high quality as I could make them, writing good tweets, talking to high quality customers and just doing the work, doing the inputs and forgetting the reward that was coming out of it. Because if I focused on what I was putting in and the quality of what I was putting into that basket, rather than what that basket was actually giving me out, it's a funny thing, but it actually makes the reward and the output a lot higher quality and you get a lot more out. And guess what happened after I did that? The business started growing. And I'm gonna be honest, the revenue didn't just shoot up to thousands of dollars a month. I didn't just become an overnight millionaire just because of this little mindset shift. But the slow numbers, the little numbers that actually do matter, they started to move because I started to move without needing the result to come. I started to put in the work and forget the reward. And waking up now feels different because I know what I need to do that day. And I know that I don't need to worry about what I'm gonna get out. I'm just gonna focus on what I put in. And I know that if I do that for long enough, the reward will come. The outputs will come. The business will grow. And if I just focus on the things that I personally can control, that's the most healthy, productive, and strong mindset I can have towards the business to not go crazy and also grow the business at the same time. And if this specific business doesn't work, I'm building the personal brand, I'm posting daily, I'm growing my personal brand, building trust because I'm just putting myself out there, bro. And it will open doors, it will open other opportunities to other businesses down the line. And I know that if I just focus on doing the right stuff, just sharing my message, showing who I am, the actual tough parts of building a business as a college student, worrying about being able to, pay rent next year. It builds trust, bro. It builds I want people to know who I am. And I think that will help out my business in the long term and open a lot of doors down the road. So that's it. That's the actual shift. It's not relax more, take more breaks, take a 1 hour break after you work for 6 hours, not all of that bullshit. It's just stop focusing on things that you cannot control. Stop focusing on things you can't control. Worry about the inputs, worry about the quality of the work, the videos you're posting, how honest you're being with your audience, how really organic and raw you're being with your audience, how good you're focusing on making the product, how many people you're actually talking to that have the problems that your product solves, and then actually making real changes based on what they said. And stop focusing on oh, did my ads convert a specific amount of people today? Did we go up by $1,000 in monthly recurring revenue this week? You can't control that directly. Be present, fall in love with the process, control what you can control and forget what you can't control. And be relentless about what you want to happen in the next 6 months, the growth you want to happen, but be okay with the fact that it might take 5 years. It might take 10 years. If any part of this video hit home for you, I would love to see in the comments if you guys have any of the same problems or struggles in your business or in your lives. It really means a lot every time someone comments. I read every single one of them. And if you want to see me actually do this in real time and talk about the mental struggles, not just the business, not just, how to grow the business, but the mental struggles and blockage that can occur from building a business at a young age, especially when you have all these other variables in your life, like friends, family, college, it's not easy. And I'm gonna try to be as raw and authentic about it as possible, but I would really appreciate anyone who wants to subscribe. I also post every single day on Instagram documenting the process of me building the business, where I get a lot more tactical about what I'm actually doing to grow the software business that I'm working on. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.